Yo, how's it going, everyone? It is that time once again. We are back for the early Dokkan stream, just in time for the reveal. Yeah, I was always going to change the title as soon as the stream started, but I have to schedule the stream ahead of time. But yeah, the details are out now. The Dokkan Fest is in fact Android 16, which is I don't necessarily think what I mean. I actually did see somebody predict it. I saw somebody post about like the like Hell's Flash thing or whatever it's called, the like thing where he fires into the ground. I didn't really think it looked like that, but I guess here we are. I'm just going to get the pages open here so we can go over all the details. The banner unit appears to be an Android 17, but it's an MVP 17 from Super and not 17 from the Android/Cell Saga. So without even looking at like his details or anything, that means he's got to have like an Android's leader skill, because 17 and 18 aren't on artificial life forms. And obviously it's not a 17 from the Android/Cell Saga, so... Someone on Nano Stream said the AGL Trunks EZA could be possible. Yeah, 100%. I was somewhat right with it being 16 into 17. Yeah, 16 with a banner unit 17. Might as well Super EZA the free-to-play AGL LR Androids, yep. Yeah, tech Androids would be good. Gamma's EZA would be good. The only thing I will say about that, like from what Proton has said about the gaps in the thing, like, bear in mind there obviously could still be, because there's going to be another data download, they could just add more gaps into the database. Just because there's that many gaps now doesn't necessarily mean that that's all there is. Yeah, need to get the video ready for the animations. What were they thinking? I thought they wanted to dry our stones out. I mean, I guess it depends how good he is, right? Because that's the thing, we wanted a new Android's leader, really. Because, yeah, if he's got an Android leader skill, then, yeah, that STR Hellfighter 17 EZA from the last World Tournament should be pretty interesting. But yeah, most people thought it was Piccolo. I did see like one or two people saying like the Android 16 thing, but I don't really... Even like the holes like in his like arms where he shoots the things down into the floor, aren't they just perfect circles? They're not like shaped like the thing on the hint, so I don't really... I still personally don't really see how the hint actually applies to 16, but there you go. Right, anyway, let's go ahead and get one of the OSTs on here that will then go into another good background one. And then let's do this. Okay. Hey guys, Marzinger here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we just got the reveal of the upcoming Dokkan Fest, which should be coming out on Friday, and much to our surprise, it is an Android 16. Literally the top comment on the post is someone having reposted the hint image that they shared on Monday, saying, how the heck do you get Android 16 from this, which I'm not really 100% sure. There's even this image, like you can see the images down the right hand side, the one that's second from bottom, where it shows like him shooting into the ground for like the hell flash thing. Like he does have the little holes in his arms for like shooting out the beams, but like they just look like circle shapes to me, not circles with the like jagged edges like the hint. So definitely a little bit strange, but hey, I think I saw at least one reply in that actual official post thread of people making all their random speculations. I did see at least one post that was somebody predicting Android 16, so well done to whoever that person was, and anyone out there who somehow managed to get the prediction that this was indeed going to be an Android 16. Because it's not something that I would have expected to see. So there you go. Android 16 is the new upcoming Dokkan Fest that should be releasing on Friday. They've posted all of his details here, so we are going to go through them. As always, when these things come out, I like to just record these straight off the rip, so I haven't read any of the details. Sometimes that means I do make very minor mistakes, but I like to give my first initial thoughts and reactions based on just seeing all the info for the first time. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. So here's Extreme AGL Response to Emergencies, Android number 16. Card art's decent, I guess. Nothing really like crazy. You've got 17 and 18 there in the background as well. We can already see his leader skill is Androids or Uncontrollable Power, which is interesting. We needed a new Androids lead for sure. So let's see. So we got Androids or Uncontrollable Power category, key 3, HP, obviously 200%, and then 170. Additional 50% for characters who belong to Android/Cell Saga, Mission Execution, or Artificial Life Forms. Okay. So that should cover like most of the Androids characters, because obviously normal 17 and 18 are not on Artificial Life Forms, but they would be on Android/Cell Saga. Not sure about MVP 17 though, but or like any of the Dragon Ball Super 17s and 18s. But yeah, the combination of those should be interesting. Uncontrollable Power. I wonder what kind of crossover that gets with like any of these characters being on his leader skill as well. I mean, Int Broly will be on, is obviously Uncontrollable Power, but like he's not on any of the other ones. So yeah, I'm not sure. In terms of being a new Androids leader, this is really good, but overall I wouldn't say his leader skill is like super crazy. So in the chat saying there's some boos. There are some boos on Uncontrollable Power, and then obviously they'll be on Artificial Life Forms. So interesting. But yeah, let's take a look at his passive details. So he gets an entrance animation when there's another Android ally on the team. So obviously that's pretty easy to do. I mean, if you're running double 16, that just counts straight away. So for one turn, he guards all attacks, and he then gets all allies defense 16%. And it's once activation infinitely, so he just has guard. Basic effects, key 3, attack and defense 260%, all allies defense 60%. Damn, so with his intro, which he should basically always have, he gives all allies 76% defense. Androids or Uncontrollable Power allies attack 60%. When attacking, he gets 260% attack. When receiving an attack, he gets 160% defense. As the first attacker in the turn, 60% damage reduction, launches an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. All allies defense 30%. plus an additional attack 30% for characters who also belong to androids or uncontrollable power within the turn after receiving an attack. Damn, so when he gets hit in slot 1, if he's got his intro buff up as well, then he's giving all allies 106% defense, which is pretty crazy. And then, yeah, uncontrollable power or androids characters are getting 90% attack after he receives a hit. So that's kind of crazy. 60% damage reduction and guard, whilst also having good defense. He's got 260 to stats, plus then giving the 100 odd percent, which will include himself as well. With guard, seems pretty good. As the second or third attacker in the turn, he gets an extra 160% defense and launches an additional super attack when attacking. As the third attacker, he gets attack 160 and performs a crit when attacking. So if you have to float him off for some reason, I guess, he gets a bunch of extra attack and does a guaranteed crit. But he's going to have guard and somewhat decent defense, but by not being in slot 1, he doesn't have the damage reduction or anything. So I guess the kind of worrying thing is he is one of those units that basically has to be in slot 1. And we know that those units don't always necessarily age the best, right? So then we have an extra bit at the bottom here. So we got, when there is an enemy whose name includes Goku, or Cell, or starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, attack 160, and then an extra 160 when attacking as the third attacker in a turn. So, and that's a once only. So I guess it means if you're starting off against a Goku or a Cell boss and you have to float him off, he's getting a ton of extra attack in slot 3 for that one turn. But because he gets so little of the rest of his passive, like, you don't really want to be using him in slot 3, realistically. He's just like a slot 1 unit. Then he has the active skill, the Hell Flash. Could be activated when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku or Cell, or starting from the 5th turn. Massively raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage to the enemy, and disables enemy action once within the turn. Okay, so the interesting thing about this, because it has the same condition as his this extra part of his passive, I guess the idea is you use his active skill in slot 2, because then that triggers this, slot 3, sorry, that triggers this. So he gets the extra, like 300, extra 160 from this, and then 160 from this as well. So he's going to get an extra 320% attack and a guaranteed crit when you use his active skill in slot 3. And then obviously you can then just put him back into slot 1. So this is interesting. And yeah, it has an action break. It's once within the turn. Because it's not... Yeah, it's not delays enemies' action. So it'll just get rid of like the first enemy attack of the turn. Which obviously can still be very useful. His links, though, unfortunately for an Android 16 unit, links are pretty terrible. Android Assault, Mechanical Menaces, Gentleman, Tough as Nails, Infinite Energy, Solid Support, Fierce Battle. So he'll share Android Assault and like Infinite Energy with some of the like 17 and 18s, but yeah, that's his links are pretty terrible. And then categories, everything we would kind of expect here. It's on Saviors as well, which I forget 16 is on, which is interesting. So his super attacks, he has the Rocket Punch, greatly raise attack and defense for 4 turns. Actually, we can't see the full details here. He has a unit super attack. So his super attack is greatly raise attack and defense for 4 turns, does immense damage to the enemy. Then he has a unit super, can be activated when there is an ally whose name includes Android 17 or Android 18 on the turn. And the unit super is greatly raise attack and defense for 4 turns, immense damage to the enemy, raises allies defense by 50% for 2 turns, and he's already giving 106% defense support. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, so he's giving 150, as long as he gets hit in slot 1 and then does his unit super, the other 2 units on the rotation are going to have 156% extra defense, which is interesting. So that's pretty cool. So I mean, yeah, he seems pretty good in terms of like being a strong defensive unit. Strong slot 1 defensive unit, leading a new Android team setup. I think he seems pretty interesting. And his banner unit is an Android 17, although interestingly is an MVP 17 and not the Android /Cell Saga 17. So that's kind of interesting. So what does he do? He has worthy rivals or defenders of justice, but he's just a banner unit, so it's only 130. Yes, he's got like Android Assault, Infinite Energy, Fierce Battle. Key 3, attack and defense 170, medium chance to dodge, 30% damage reduction, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow, androids allies attack and defense 70%, and then per defenders of justice or androids ally on the team, depending which has more numbers, chance to dodge and damage reduction 10% up to 40. Okay, so yeah, if you have 4 androids allies on the team, that means he has 70% chance to dodge and 70% damage reduction, which is pretty good. When there's another Defenders of Justice or Androids ally on the team, attack 170, launch an additional super, foresees enemy super attacks when HP is 70% or more, and then one time only evades enemy attacks as the first attacker in the turn. That's interesting. So, because it's one time only, but it's as the first attacker in the turn. So, technically that means you could save this. So, like, you could get, like, 5 or 6 turns into the event and then put him in slot 1 and he would guarantee dodge, like, which could be really useful for, like, the final phase of an event. Obviously, Android 16 is going to be a really good slot 1 tank, but if there's a situation where, like, a really tough boss, let's say, like, Rose fully built up, for example, would actually be able to kill him, like, on that turn, you could then just put 17 in slot 1, although obviously 16 then in slot 2 or 3 doesn't get his damage reduction, which means he probably could still end up dying anyway. But that's very interesting that there's certain situations where you could just save this and then you throw him in slot 1 on a later turn and he just guaranteed dodges, which is interesting because it's one time only, but you can save like when you use it. And then as long as HP is 70% or more, he has a scouter, which is pretty good. When attacking, attack and defense 170. For every attack received or evaded, 50% attack up to 200, crit chance 20% up to 100. So if he dodges or gets hit 5 times, he has guaranteed crit. So that seems pretty good. I mean, yeah, he seems like overall a very solid support unit. He has 70% dodge and 70% damage reduction. Obviously, typical 17 and 18, 17 links. But yeah, so MVP 17 isn't on Mission Execution, Artificial Lifeforms, or Android/Cell Saga. So he's the banner unit for Android 16, but he's not on his full leader skill. He's only going to get the 170 lead from Android 16, which is interesting. And then greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage to the enemy, raises allies attack and defense by 17% for 2 turns. Which is pretty good because he's very clearly like a slot 3 floating support unit, even though he has that one time, like, can dodge in slot 1. Because you put him in slot 3 and not only is he giving everyone 70% attack and defense, then he attacks. Obviously no one else on that rotation gets the benefit, but then the next rotation gets the 17% attack and defense. So that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look at, we do have the super attack animations here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at these. Get the music paused. Let's do that and then check these out here. That's pretty cool for a banner unit.
You were programmed with the mission to destroy Goku, isn't that right?
That's right.
Lol. Rocket punch. Okay. Alright, so this will be the unit super. kind of ends the same way, but they're there in the background.
I will destroy you.
I mean, that's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, there you go. Android 16 is the Dokkan Fest. I don't think a lot of people were expecting it. He seems pretty good. Seems like a strong slot 1 unit. I'm not sure how his team is going to look. It definitely changes up my thoughts on like the Easy A's and stuff that are going to come with him, because I very much thought it was going to be like a Piccolo. I thought it was going to be a sort of Android / Cell Saga themed celebration. But yeah, this guy leading androids and uncontrollable power means that the setup, I think, for this celebration is going to be very different. The Part 2 LR, now I'm thinking all sorts of different things, because it could still be like a Piccolo, because obviously 16 does fight against Cell as well. He has those restrictions in his active skill and everything for having a Cell enemy. I do still think reversible exchange 17 and 18 is possible as well. But yeah, he seems pretty good. The problem is with these kind of characters, he's not a super hype character for a lot of people, I don't think. But when it comes to them dropping these kind of banners to like bait people's stones, like I think getting a new Android team set up could be pretty good, especially if like, you know, we get the Gammas, Easy A's or something like that. Like this team could end up being really good, especially with the banner unit 17. We just had the Super 17 Easy A. There's that STR Hellfire 17 Easy A from the most recent World Tournament, which in theory he would be really good, but he just didn't have a team. So yeah, this could certainly be interesting. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Dokkan Fest, Android 16. Will you be summoning? Will you be skipping? Give me all your thoughts on him down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one. Okay. So it's uploaded straight away. So yeah, Android 16, huh? Who would have thought? But yeah, I'm not sure, like, yeah, tag 17 and 18 for the Part 2 LR definitely seems like a good shout, but obviously with Dokkan you never know. Let's see, Android 16 is the next Dokkan Festival. Yeah, I did see like there was one comment in that thread of someone being like, it's Android 16. When I saw it, I was like, huh? Although, yeah, someone did say there are 16 circles on the thing. It's like... But that could be anything. Like, they could have made it 16, like, triangles, and no one would have guessed, oh, yeah, that's Android 16. Like... Excuse me. But yeah, it seems very odd. So I need to make a quick thumbnail as well. But yeah, the question is, who's summoning? Let's save that as JPEG. Dokkan Fest 16. I wonder how many people who like were convinced it was a Piccolo and were hyped for a Piccolo will now just be disappointed and like trashing 16 because he's not a Piccolo. Because he's definitely very good. Is he good enough to be like pre-anniversary stone bait though is the big question. Yeah, Ash Malaysia Gaming, maybe part 2 exchange mechanic, SR, LR Super Saiyan Vegeta and LR Super Saiyan Trunks. That'd be interesting. Or like a super, imagine it was like a Super Vegeta and Super Trunks. A way better way to get the same spirit of the hint is have it be 16 ribbons. Yeah, or 16 birds. That'd be interesting. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know in the chat what do you think of this guy. But yeah, definitely a weird hint. Not something I would... Also, it's very strange to me that they made the banner unit a 17 who isn't on his full leader skill. So the banner unit is only getting a 170 lead. It seems like an odd choice. I mean, he's largely going to be relying on dodge anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. The video should be up now of the breaking down the details. Make sure you guys open up the video, give it a like, even if you were here when we recorded it and you've obviously seen all the details and everything. But do open up the video, give it a like. It helps out me and the channel. Leave a comment saying that you came over from the stream. All of that stuff is super, super helpful. So even if you've already seen, like you were literally here when we recorded it, it does help me out if you guys actually go onto the video. Leaving a comment helps a lot as well. Anything that YouTube counts as like an interaction with the video. So like likes, comments, all that good stuff, like that all helps out. Helps promote the video in the algorithm. Same with like the stream. If you have not liked the stream already, click that like button. It's absolutely free to do so. It helps to promote the stream. YouTube is more likely to show the stream to people that have never seen my channel before if it has more likes on it. So all of that good stuff you can do to help out, and it is completely free. And yeah, if you have the hype option as well, the hype feature, you can hype the video. They knew what they were doing, making it look like the Hellzone grenade. Yeah. I think, like, out of all the hints that we saw, out of all the suggestions that people had made in the comments and stuff, like, to me, that felt like the one that was the most likely. Oh, yeah, I didn't look at the thing because there's actual, like, in-game news as well. But I'll go over that with like the data download video that I do tomorrow, I guess. So we got So that's the story event that has the like Super Vegeta and Trunks exchange character, right? Is getting revamped into a Dokkan story event with a new support memory. Please go number 18. Interesting. And yeah, we know we've got the new Tamagami stage, Seriously Serious event, which will obviously give us free tickets for 16. And then there'll be the Dokkan Day tickets on the 30th. So 16 is going to come out on Friday with a bunch of new events, some free tickets from the Seriously Serious event. And then on the 30th, which is Sunday, Dokkan Day, we will then get some more free tickets. And yeah, the 90-second virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash. Crazy to think that 92. Anarchy, I'm a simple man, I see androids, I summon. Yeah, the 16, the blaster thing, they're not even different sizes. Yeah, the Bira Sakai balls, I saw like Truth made a tweet about that like last night. And it's like a huge stretch. Like they don't look anything like that. I should make a post for doing a community response thing as well. I mean, the Part 2 LR could be a Super Vegeta, which would be kind of cool. Like a proper voice-acted crazy animation like Final Flash. No Heroes EZAs announced yet, and yeah, the Heroes EZAs don't make sense with like an Android 16 releasing either. Like, I don't think the limit breakers aren't on uncontrollable power, so there is basically like no connection. Hey, shout out to Anarchy Raff for becoming a channel member. I appreciate you. Let me just get the thing in here. Welcome to the Ningen Club. Post that there. We don't like that OST. What's the Part 2 LR be random and be Skinny Boo? Yeah. Super Vegeta LR that leads 220 Pure Saiyans. So that would be insane. Dokkan should do a revamped version of the AGO LR Gohan. Good to be back. Was gone for a bit, but I can afford to hang around again. Hey, people are always welcome, of course, in the streams, regardless, members or no. But I do appreciate you guys. The shout out to all the members. Becoming a member is the best way to support the channel, as well as getting some perks for yourself as well. You can see you got the green names highlighted in the chat with the Timebreaker Mask badges. Different color badges depending on how long you've been a member. Members only area of the Discord, members only posts, all that good stuff. LR Kid Boo Part 2 on the 16 lead. I mean, funnily enough, it's kind of funny that because the LR Kid Boo cope will never stop, but like Kid Boo is actually on Android 16's leader skill. Like, I mean, Android 16 himself is good, but yeah, the Androids team as a whole generally would be terrible for Festival because barely any of them are stackers. Daima Goku is already a Pure Saiyan 220 lead practically. Yeah, a large majority of the units are on there. Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, a team being good or not, in general, I don't think like matters too much about whether they're good in Festival. Like, I feel like the Androids team now with this Android 16 is going to be good in the actual like more all the difficult end game events, like outside of Festival. But for the most part, we don't care about Festival. It's funny though that yet again they've released an extreme unit who doesn't help towards the extreme mission that they brought out for Festival. Because like he's extreme AGL, which is one of the typings for the Festival mission, but he's not a stacker. So he won't be good in Festival. Yeah, this is well, Heroes time slot was like a couple of days ago. If Heroes was still a thing based on the previous years, it probably would have started on Friday. But that's the thing. They said they're still doing the EZAs, but like we just have no idea when. And they're clearly, well, I say clearly, they could still do it randomly, I guess, but I don't think they're gonna be dropping during this celebration. The event which has good replay value should be the fight that should be considered. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like, Festival has no replay value. It's one of the most horribly designed, annoying events in the game. So once you beat it once, or then when they add a new mission and you get the mission done, then you'd never play it again, because it's awful. Whereas fights like Rose and Zamasu, like, they're the kind of fights that like a new unit and a new team comes out, so you replay that event to see like how good that new team is. I'm not replaying like a 3-hour event just to see how good like a new team is in an event that is basically just stacking simulator.
All right, let's do this.
DFE Android 16 sells so Carnival LR every year is always a Saiyan. You guys know who are Carnival LR, Biogas Goku or Super Vegeta. I do think Super Vegeta would be awesome. Yeah, Big Bad Boss is level 10 made for Frieza. This is a big W. Yeah, I think a Super Vegeta as the Part 2 LR would be really cool. Yeah, someone posted a picture of what like his full leader skill like team is. And outside of like Super 17, the Gammas, like there aren't really any sort of like crazy meta relevant units. Like his team is going to be very meh. Yeah, Gamma's Easy A I think would be like the perfect thing for this. Yeah, I just saw that. AGL Super 17 Super Easy A would be insane because he has so many buffs. Like, the only problem is a unit that like 16 has to be in slot 1 really to function the way he's supposed to. So any characters that are like also wanting to be in slot 1 aren't going to work like super well on his team with him. But yeah, I feel like we have to see the Tech 17 and 18 Easy A, right? Because they will trigger his unit super. They should be a really good unit in like slot 2 next to him. They can nullify Key Blast super attacks. They have the Ghost Usher active skill. Like, yeah, the Tech 17 and 18 with an Easy A in slot 2 next to 16 will look super good. Yeah, I need to make a post for the Android 16 thing. So, what do you guys think of Android 16? Good choice for this time slot. Is he good enough? We'll make a community response video. Android 16. I still think one of the funniest things about the Cell Saga and everything overall is like the fact that I know it's been joked about many times over the years and stuff, but just the fact that like Dr. Gero was able to create androids that could even become as powerful as they are. Like the fact that like he could have literally, when he created 17 and 18 and like, I mean that is what happens in the future timeline, although they kind of rebel against him and kill him, but like 16, I can't remember, is 16 supposed to be stronger than 17 and 18? Because 16 is just a full android and just follows his orders until he gets reprogrammed. But like he could have just made Android 16, activated him, and then literally taken over the world, because even the Z fighters at that point would have just been able to, like, would have just got absolutely washed by the Android 16. So, like, the idea that he could make an android that was that strong, especially because didn't they have, like, they didn't have any data about the Super Saiyans, right? That's the whole thing about, like, when Vegeta goes Super Saiyan and just destroys, like, Android 19. So, like, he didn't even have any data about Super Saiyans, and yet 17 and 18 just straight away, like, on activation are just stronger than, like, Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta, which is, like, how? How did he make an android that was that strong? Because, yeah, 16, like, obviously he doesn't do very well against Cell when he tries fighting him, but doesn't he, like, he does better trying to fight Cell than 17 and 18 do, as far as I'm aware, right? But yeah, so I'll put the link in the chat. This is the post that I made on Twitter for getting your guys' feedback for Android 16. Yeah, they kind of took over the world in the future. They basically just, like, destroyed the world into the future. But if, like, Jiro had just activated 16, who obviously wouldn't have rebelled against him and killed him, then Jiro and, like, the Red Ribbon Army could have just taken over the whole world with, like, no resistance whatsoever. And even Cell, even, like, the idea of, like, he made the an android that if it absorbs the other androids becomes more powerful. Like, that's not a huge logical leap. But then to say that, like, once he's absorbed all of the other androids who are... Because, like, 16, 17, and 18, like, solo, obviously, would lose to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan quite easily. But he made an android that once he'd absorbed 17 and 18 was, like, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan level. Well, not really, because obviously Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was just annihilating him until he self-destructed and came back. But, yeah, it's just funny, the idea that he could make an android that could even be that powerful. Right, so I'm going to post this link in the group chat, so... okay, send your guys' thoughts, please. Smiley face. Oh god, they've completely changed how this all looks now. I don't like it. But yeah, the tech androids and, like, the Gammas EZAs would just be so, like, crazy. Android team has a lot of potential. Yeah, 16 is modelled after Jiro and Android 21's son. They show that's, like, confirmed in Superhero. But yeah, in the future, they never woke up Android 16. I can't remember why they decide to wake him up in this, like, Cell Saga timeline. Because 17 and 18 just, like, randomly decide to wake him up, don't they? Like, to join them. And I can't remember why they decide to. But... in the future, they didn't. Also, yeah, what is that like weird inconsistency thing in like the? Because yeah, like Trunks came to warn them about the androids, and then, but like had no mention of 19 and 20. So did 19 and 20 just not exist in the timeline that Trunks came from? I actually don't remember that part. Because there's all that confusion and it basically becomes a meme about like Trunks thinking that there's 2 androids and then there turns out to be like 6. And if we count the movie, the Android 13 movie, actually 9. "19 and 20, yeah, it doesn't exist in... Yeah, so what happened there? I thought Trunks coming to visit and warning them changed the timeline. Yeah, it's like a butterfly effect thing. Yeah, so we've got... So it's androids and uncontrollable power. Super Saiyan 3 Goku's on his team. But yeah, that's true. Like, android number 20 is Dr. Gero. Because he makes himself into an android as well. Right. Yeah, I guess true, because numbers-wise... I mean, in theory, he made 16 first, but just didn't activate him. And then, yeah, made 17 and 18. And then just didn't make 19 or turn himself into an android. And I guess just got... I'm assuming in the future timeline, like, where the future androids, like 17 and 18, have destroyed everything and killed future Gohan and all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming that they still, like, rebelled and killed Gero, and that's why he's not, like, around or anything. But yeah, I would very much like to see a Final Flash like Super Vegeta as the Part 2 LR. Maybe Goku died before Gero cared about focusing on 16 as much. 17 and 18 didn't know about him. Well, I think the whole reason he makes 16 in the first place is because it is like a... it's like a made in the image of his son. So that's one of the reasons why... That's just the main reason why he made him. And then I guess just like was never going to activate him or something. I don't know. 17 and 18 are the only ones strong enough to beat the Z Fighters without the warning. They were still able to beat 19 and 20, but they weren't the threat. Well, that's the thing, though, because of the warning, they all, like, trained harder. Although I suppose, like... I guess you could say, like, Vegeta beat 19 because he trained hard enough to become a Super Saiyan, which he would have done anyway because of his constant desire to, like, rival Goku. So even if Trunks hadn't come back and appeared as another Super Saiyan and said about the androids and stuff like that, like, Vegeta would have still been training to become a Super Saiyan to catch up to Goku. So then in theory, that would have all still gone the same way. Like, Super Saiyan Vegeta would have beaten 19. I've always wondered why they never went back to their real names. Yeah. Like, it's one of those random things that, like, Toriyama mentioned it in an interview, like, years later or whatever, to say what, like, 17 and 18's real names actually are. And then even though they carried on being recurring characters and came back in Dragon Ball Super, they never decided to, like, actually use their real names. That the guy who created them literally has said, like, in an official interview, is their real names. They just decided never to go back to using them. So even now in Dragon Ball Super, when Android 18 is married to Krillin and they have a daughter, like, everyone just still calls her 18, including Krillin. Like, her husband just calls her 18, even though we all know as a, like, fan base, because of the interview with Toriyama, like, that isn't her actual name. But that's just what everyone still calls her, which is weird. Maybe they didn't change it just because of the whole, like, marketing thing. Like, throughout the franchise, like, that's what the characters are called. So that's what all of the, like, toys and, like, cards and all that stuff, like, that's what they're all called. So... Also, to be fair, their names are, like, weird, just like many other Dragon Ball characters. Because their names are Lapis and Lazuli, which is, like, I think they're types of gemstones or something, I think. But, like... But you'd think as well, like, the whole point of their backstory is that Android, like, Dr. Gero kidnapped them and made them into androids, because they were just normal humans before. So Gero kidnapped them and made them into androids, and then he gave them those names. Like, oh yeah, instead of your actual name, you're now just android number 17. So you'd think that after that was all over and done with, like, you'd think they would want to go back to their actual names. But... So yeah, I'm not really sure the... Like, if it was just something that, like, was unofficial, that some person who worked on Dragon Ball that wasn't Toriyama had just randomly said and was never confirmed, that, like, oh yeah, like, Toriyama told me that these are their real names, then I could understand why they never bothered to use them in any actual, like, canon sense. But, like, yeah, like, he straight up said, yeah, this is what their names are. Like, weird. Yeah, also, where's androids, yeah, like 9 to 12? Because we know Android 8 from DB Saga. So, where's androids 9, 10, 11, and 12? I mean, realistically, even like 13, 14, and 15, because the movies are not, like, written by Toriyama or anything. But, You just skipped all the way from like in the official like work in the official timeline and everything. We just skipped straight to like 16, 17 and 18. Well, yeah, true. The thing is, Toriyama also is very well known, or has been well known over the years, for just like saying that he just completely forgets about things. Like people asking, like, why don't we really see Launch in Dragon Ball Z? Like, she was around quite a lot in OG Dragon Ball, but we don't really see her in Dragon Ball Z very much. And then he's like, oh yeah, I forgot she existed. Like, but yeah, this team definitely has like some potential. Like, because if you think the team would be like, obviously this is the old one, but we'll put like, this would be the new Android 16. And then you got the MVP 17 banner unit. Then you'd put this guy on there. These guys hopefully easy A. And then those guys easy A. Like, that'd be a pretty solid team if those were the easy A's that we actually get and everything. Right. It was confirmed that they were destroyed. Well, like all the other androids. I think part 2 is anything other than one of the 4 Saiyans. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It seems like it's been a pattern for a while that, like, the December Dokkan Fest is a Saiyan. STR Cell, I guess, could be on the team, but I don't like him. Well, yeah, I put the because obviously the 17 banner unit is the MVP 17, and he's the only MVP 7. Well, he's not the only one, I guess. If it makes you feel better, I'll put where is he? There you go. I'll put that one on there instead. But yeah, it's just like the actual 16 is the placeholder for the new 16. Like they're just a temporary stopgap. That's where the new 16 and new 17 would go. But because the new 17 is MVP 17, not the Android / Cell Saga Android 17. If you'll do trash takes this week, I have a spicy one. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was like, it's literally just because they're the new ones and we don't have them in the game yet. So I just put them there because they're the same character. Yeah, there should be, I will make a trash takes post ready for this week because the podcast is on Sunday. I wanted to wait until we'd at least seen the details. But yeah, I think like, yeah, this will be one of those times. The Dokkan Day tickets will give me Android 16, but not 17. And so then like, I won't be able to make a particularly good like build of his team. A lot of chunks of him going Super Saiyan for the first time as the intro would go hard. Yeah, Francois, the new unit is Android 16, which is certainly an interesting choice. Not one that I think many people anticipated. Hey yo, Dark FE, how's it going? Thank God it's 16 so I can skip this banner, zero hype. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is it's always a double-edged sword with the stuff that releases in this time slot, because realistically, like, you want it to be something not super hype, because ideally you don't want to be spending a bunch of stones like right before the anniversary is around the corner. So if you're somebody who doesn't think that 16 is a hype like choice, then yeah, this is good. Piccolo got shafted again. Yeah, Piccolo is destined to always just be like a banner unit. I mean, he does have a Dokkan Fest, obviously, but yeah, he's doomed to just always be a banner unit. I hope the superhero movie units EZA at the anniversary. I mean, they should eventually. Not sure about anniversary. I mean, we were kind of hoping that maybe, depending on what this Dokkan Fest was going to be, I could have seen them EZAing around this time, or like around New Year time.
All right, let's do this.
But yeah, 16 has the potential. I don't know in terms of like, is he the best TUR in the game? He could be. Because Daima Goku is really good. And Daima Goku is probably going to put out more damage than 16. Like, for the most part. But 16 has that like slot 1 god thing going on. Like the sheer amount of defense that he's going to have with the guard and damage reduction, like it should be really, really good. I guess we'll just have to see how it pans out. I'm really wondering why the Red Zone stage is coming out on the 28th. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't... Like, why did they make the final stage come out when the Daima celebration is already over? Like... It doesn't make a lot of sense. But... we all know Dokkan and making sense, so, I mean... 16 on Omega's team. Is 16 on Omega's team? I don't understand the genius of Omatsu. Yeah, true. He's obviously just operating. He's operating on a higher level that we cannot understand. Who are we? Who are we to question his methods? That's part 2 is Kid Buu and Red Zone's Ku and Do need margin power category. I mean, I guess technically that is a possibility, I suppose. Oh, great, he's locked. Now, Goku can't really be in slot 3, but there's no way Broly survives this turn, so it's fine. Somebody saw my summons the other day, but I pulled the Blue Boys, Omega, Tech Vegeta, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta from some Stone Summons and tickets. Yeah, I did see, I think I reacted to it. I saw your thing that you actually got the Blue Boys finally, which is cool. Yeah, I think I'm sure I reacted to the post. Okay, I don't think I saw that you got Tech Vegeta and a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as well. Yeah, still not an ideal. Getting the other Gogeta locked on that first turn was pretty awkward. It's always the last line. The Broly fight is not really that hard until you get to the very end, and it's like he ends up getting hit so many times that his build-up is becomes like too much for some units on the team, depending on the build, to even like tank normals well. Someone say the part 2 could be a Super Vegeta and Trunks. Yeah, I mean, they did that as a free-to-play unit, like the exchange Vegeta and Trunks. That would be kind of interesting. I'm very much down for just a like straight-up Super Vegeta, though. Like Super Vegeta with the really well-animated, like voiced Final Flash. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, that Gogeta needs to get hit. Those guys should be okay. Yeah, I think a Super Vegeta Part 2 ally would be really good. I think the Part 2, like it being Super Vegeta and Trunks, would be kind of cool as well. I think I would prefer it to just be Vegeta, but also because of multiple Vegeta fumbles in recent times. Maybe not. Yeah, exactly, Dark FE. That's exactly what I was just saying. Like, do we really want them to do another Vegeta? I mean, as long as they do it well, then yes. But new Trunks is needed for the Blue Boys, 80% boost for Trunks. And also like a potential Martian Vegeta Easy A. Like having another good Trunks around would be good. Tried my luck on LR Goma banner with 50 stones and got a Goku Black Rift. Nice. I mean, that's what we like to see. I wonder if should I just do this? Because like the thing is, it means it means he can't super, but then it also means that the giant ape hits Broly multiple times, which then buffs him, which I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Yeah, the AGL Trunks Easy A is still a potential. Yeah, that is true though. Yeah, they don't need a Trunks. Plus, also, isn't that only when you exchange into Vegeta, which a lot of the time you don't do anyway? Like, I never exchange into Vegeta. A lot of people forgot AGL Trunks exists because he's that bad. I mean, that is true, yes. At least Chadis will live forever as the ultimate meme. Yeah, despite being bad, people don't forget he exists. Because he's just that bad. He's that bad that we can never forget him. Yeah, the Team Bardock Easy A's. Okay, good. It's just double-digit damage. Yeah, the Giant Ape, like, the Giant Ape Bardock units, like, why? They must be waiting for some specific thing. I feel like it's just going to be a new Bardock, I guess, but, like, those guys have been waiting for Easy A's forever. Any support for themselves and whatever the Trunks unit is. Yeah. Yeah, so it really doesn't feel like it's anything that, like, crazy necessary. I wish you could already see, like, where Broly was going to super. I mean, I guess I know that's the whole point, that you can't, but, like... I forget that Gogeta has so much, like, defense on the first turn, but, like... This should be just GG. No, the Giant 8 Bardock squad have never easy aid. They're, like, so old now. The problem with them as well is even if they do easy A, they're those random old, like, Giant 8 type characters where they just randomly will transform, which is annoying. Oh, good super counter there, Gogeta. Yeah, LR Super Vegeta for the Carnival, like, I want to see that. I think that'd be cool. Proper, like, modern day animation voiced Final Flash active skill. It'd just be so good. .220 Vegeta family lead. Yeah, that's a category that has needed buffs for a while. Yeah, LR Super Vegeta who does one normal and no supers. No, they just make him like the king of normals 2.0. Where he just does loads of additional normal attacks. Active skill rushes Cell, screaming my baby boy. Oh, what you mean, yeah, from that part. From the Cell games after he kills Trunks. We're talking about, like, the final Flash Super Vegeta, but... When did I refresh my pattern? Okay, 9 minutes. But yeah, I'll put the link in the chat again. Make sure you guys do go and let me know your thoughts on the Android 16 Dokkan Fest. over on this post so I can make a community response video. Better yet, base Vegeta with an active skill attack of him going Super Vegeta and doing the final flash. Yeah, and then back to base again. Yeah. I mean, we joke about it, but I could see it. And 80% damage reduction and crits. The more attacks he receives, the lower it goes to 0. Oh, God. Can we not just... Could we get one that's actually good? That would be so good. Let's get one that's actually good. We used the Final Flash animation. Just throw on a quiet dub of him saying Final Flash. God. Just preying on Super Vegeta's downfall over here. I mean, given the recent history with Vegeta units, it's probably not that much of a stretch to imagine the unit being that terrible. Yeah, give him the signature thumbs up, yeah. That should be part of his intro. But yeah, that way you know he's legit. No, a bunch of the EZAs like ended. I didn't even realise. I was doing the GT Super Saiyans one. No, Vegeta's complete without his broken arm as well. Yeah, how would they include that into the card in a way that works well? Thumbs up entrance animations where he lowers all allies and enemies' attack and defense by 25% for 5 turns. Yeah, he just straight up nerfs you and your whole team. Well, speaking of Super Vegeta, what was his Android / Cell Saga Extreme Tech Int STR? Stream tech into SDR. We haven't really. Oh, we've got. I guess we've got SDR cell now. I suppose. No, the team hasn't really changed at all since then, and I'm using a more Saiyan version of the team anyway.
All right, let's
That's
do
probably
this.
why I haven't grinded that hard on this one, but... LR second form cell, potentially. Cell Max Easy A. How old is Cell Max? Can he get a super? Is it too early for him to get a Super Easy A? I don't know. It might not be. I'm not sure though. Cell Max was 2024. Oh wow, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's way too. Oh yeah, true. He was the Part 2 LR of Physical Rose. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's like way too early for him to get one. Although this Easy A will be Extreme Sea Battle will be good for when 16 drops. I actually didn't even remember checking. Like I don't think I even said it in the video when we read his details. But what typing is the 17? Because obviously he's MVP 17, so he's going to be a super type. Super STR, okay. What news about events? What are we getting? It's literally just the stuff that we would expect. Like we're getting the Seriously Serious event with a new stage because that will give free tickets for 16. One of the story events is getting revamped. The Dimer stage for the Red Zone that we already know about. Someone asked why the 17 isn't on Reps of Universe 7. And then someone else said, to everyone saying because it's pre-Tournament of Power, aka before Goku asked him to join Universe 7, then he shouldn't be on USS either, as that too is after he joins Universe 7 and the tournament, not pre. But that's not how that works at all. Like, it's kind of like the arcs. Universe Survival Saga is the arc, so it literally starts from... But yeah, USS is the Ark. I can't think of any other option, like any other examples though. Are there any other characters from like the very beginning of that where they haven't put the team to? Because what's the there aren't really any characters that are specifically from the exhibition match thing, right? Where like Goku fights Topo and Gohan fights one of the like Lavender Trio or whoever it is, the Trio de Danger. Like there isn't a specific character that's just that unit from that bit, is there?
All right, let's do this.
Shape Up Boo is on Reps of Universe 7. I guess because at the time he was, I guess, like a member of the team. Because they basically had like picked him to be on the team, and then when it came down to like the last minute, I'm trying to think, are there any other examples? Physical, free-to-play, Goten and Trunks from USS. Yeah, because that's while the tournament is taking place, I guess, technically, isn't it? Like the what if of like the three of them together, because it's the Trunks, Goten, and Marin. AGL Blue, Kaioken, AGL Krillin in his fight with Gohan. Well, AGL Blue Kaioken is on Reps of Universe 7 because he's from the Universe 6 thing, but he's not on Universe Survival Saga because that isn't that arc. Yeah, isn't the AGL... Maybe I'm mistaken. I thought the AGL... Isn't that AGL Krillin that's from Universe Survival Saga? Isn't that from his fight with Goku? I'll get the wiki up here and just look at Universe Survival Saga. See if we can see who are like the earliest units that are on here in terms of like the story. Or is that Krillin supposed to be the one like from the TOP? Because his background is like normal Earth sky, so I assume it like that Krillin. I always thought that Krillin is supposed to be from the fight with Goku. Talking about Tournament of Power, because someone like was complaining on the post about 17, the banner unit 17, as to why he's not on Reps of Universe 7, and then saying like they don't like saying, oh, for people who say it's pre-TOP, then he shouldn't be on Universe Survival Saga either. But Universe Survival Saga is like the whole arc, so it technically starts like before the Tournament of Power. AGL Krillin is from the fight with Gohan. I don't even remember them fighting, to be honest. I remember the fight against Goku and everyone getting annoyed that like Scaling in Super had already gone crazy at that point with the fight with 17, but like the fact that Goku goes blue and does the Kamehameha and it doesn't just instantly like vaporize Krillin. Because like even like saying that he's like holding back the sheer amount of power that he should have as like blue versus base Goku, base Krillin, like Gohan and Krillin sparring session, episode 84. Yeah, I genuinely don't remember that. Well, yeah, like that's the. I mean, there is that straight up is just the reason. Like the Tournament of Power hasn't started yet, so he's not on. He hasn't been recruited to the team, so he's not on Reps of Universe 7. But the arc has started, so he's on Universe Survival Saga. Like it is pretty straightforward. I don't understand why that person was confused. The person that made the post. But yeah, he's not on Reps of Universe 7 because he hasn't officially joined the team. But he's on Universe Survival Saga because the Universe Survival Saga arc has already started. Could the LR maybe be Goku from his fight of 19 and the intro? Piccolo's troll speech. I mean, I feel like because the 16 and stuff part is a bit later on. I mean, they have done it before, where the part 2 LR comes from earlier in the series than the part 1. Oh boy, Legic. I need that Legic Dokkan Fest. The only problem is, I think with 16, I was just checking to see how many... Excuse me. I was checking to see how many replies are on that post that I've made already. And like someone made a very good point that like because 16 like very much just only wants to be run in slot 1.
Let's do this.
He's going to have a hard time against bosses like Rose and Zamasu, like being the hardest fight in the game and having rotation locking. Like that's going to be super awkward for him. I mean, at least he does have guard, but he doesn't have the 60% damage reduction. Yeah, the OST for Android 16's active skill seems pretty cool as well. But yeah, most people are pretty indifferent towards like the animations and stuff because yeah, they're not anything particularly crazy. Yeah, exactly, Massive G. I was gonna say, like, that seems like so many times, every time now since they've come out, I've mentioned about how I like don't pull the new unit off of the tickets. This will be the time that I pull the new unit off the tickets, when it's not even necessarily a unit that I actually want. Because yeah, that's the thing, is like the androids team is going to need a lot of buffs in order for the team to be good, outside of like just having the new, because like just having the new 16 isn't going to be enough. Like, yeah, another Goku. I'd much rather it be a Super Vegeta or something. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. Gohan wanted to spar with Krillin because he couldn't imagine Krillin not freaking out versus strong enemies, and proceeds to get blinded by the solar flare and lost. Yeah, I do not remember that at all. But then I don't remember a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not, like, there are obviously bits that are good, but like, on the whole, like Dragon Ball Super, there are good parts, but there are so many like forgettable parts in my opinion. Like, and I'm not a huge fan of the Tournament of Power in general. Like, yeah, people have coped for a Bye Guys Goku. Yeah, because why have we not got one? That's one of the like classic moments. Like, why is that? That should be represented in the game, 100%. Anytime Cell Saga comes up, Bye Guys Goku LR incoming. It's funny if you think about like how, imagine how different the Tournament of Power arc in general would have been if it was set like after Dragon Ball Super Broly. Although I guess technically, what I just thought about it, but like, if the Tournament of Power hadn't happened, like when it did, they wouldn't have revived Frieza. So then the events of Dragon Ball Super Broly wouldn't have happened. Because I wonder, like, what would have happened, because... Isn't it like... I need to think back to the beginning of the Broly movie now, but isn't it like Chila and Lemo find Broly, but like they haven't been ordered to go there by Frieza, so in theory Chila and Lemo would have found Broly anyway, but then Frieza would still be dead. You'd still have the resurrection of F, so it'd still be like Sorbet, Sashimi, and the other guy whose name I can't... Tagoma, like, essentially running the Frieza Force. So, like, Broly and Paragus wouldn't have come to Earth then. So, like... Because I was thinking about, obviously, like, just the idea of if Broly was on the reps of Universe 17. But... yeah, like, Frieza wouldn't even be alive at that point. So... Right, well, anyway, that's going to be it for the stream. I appreciate you guys coming out to the stream, checking out the news on the new Dokkan Fest with me as it came out. Make sure you check out the video that I posted going over all the details. Even if you were here when the details dropped, just go over, drop a like on that video, give a comment, and then, yeah, we'll should get a data download tomorrow. And then the banner should come out Friday. So Goku's portrayed as a villain. He's the one that gives everyone a chance to live. Yeah, that's the thing as well. It's not like it literally was his idea to have a tournament and the weak universes get destroyed. Like, even if it was his idea to have a oh yeah, true. Tagoma, they would all still be dead, yeah, because the resurrection of F stuff happened, but then Frieza's just dead again. So, no one would be left to be on the Frieza Force, because doesn't Vegeta kill Sorbet? I can't remember. Or does he get away after he laser guns Goku? Oh yeah, because Vegeta, like, deflects Frieza's energy blast that he fires at Goku and deflects it onto Sorbet. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. I appreciate you guys coming out. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow on Twitch, all that good stuff. I will be back again. Slightly different schedule this week. Make sure you check out the YouTube community tab or join the Discord and check out the schedule section in there as well. But I won't be streaming again now until Friday morning when the new stuff comes out. So there's no late stream tonight and no streams tomorrow. So I'll be live again when all the new stuff comes out on Friday morning. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. So that's it from me. Take care. See you next time. See you all again soon. Have a good one.